We'll be back from the break. It's exactly 7 minutes past 8, and well, we're heading into quite very interesting discussions here. But of course, before we head into our business tips and quotes, I would still love to remind you that the Markets on the Zabo platform of back *292# is the code for you to participate, and here you'll be available with options to be able to buy government bond securities for a fee of just 15,000 Ugandan shillings. Now, the markets are going to be opening at exactly 8:15 a.m. and as I speak right now, quite a few minutes that are left for them to start being operational. *292#, like I said, 8:15 a.m. running all the way to 3:15 p.m. That is East African time, and it is effective Monday up to Friday, apart from the weekends and the public holidays where those markets cannot be accessed. But of course, despite that, you have the rest of the days to capitalize and make money. Something which I believe is quite very key and instrumental when it comes to your financial development as an individual. Zabo made this a reality for you, and remember, on top of *292#, you have to register. That is with your national identification number for you to proceed. That's why Zabo says, "My money, my future," and Altex East Africa tells you, well, you gotta do something new. Remember, it is 2023. Let's get inspired as vibrant entrepreneurs. It's a new week, and you gotta start up your week freshened up. And now let's get into our business tips and quotes for now. Well, you gotta get a mentor at in case you're not sure of what you're doing.
I must agree with that. Mostly, I would get a mentor when it comes to parts of finance. You know, we are, most of us, I must say, we have this financial disability, if I call it disability. We are not disciplined when it comes to finances, so I would get myself one. I've seen my friends get themselves one, and they are really prospering. They are saving more, they are spending less. So definitely, get a mentor, even if it's in career, get a mentor, someone that will guide you. You know, these mentors are there to guide us, okay, in how we can progress in every aspect of life. It could be career, it could be business, it could be health, it could be anything regarding life. So definitely you could have one that can sum them all up, or you could have as many as possible. But for me, really, I would go for a financial mentor.
Me, I would go for somebody helping me to get to my career, because once I get that, I believe even the finances, I'll have them right.
You may have them right, but then the discipline, the discipline.
We also disciplined in some sort of way.
There has to be financial literacy. I think we still have that issue as Uganda. We are not financially oriented in how we should spend. You know, you walk out of the house with 100,000 and expect to come back with balance, but the moment you walk out, you know, you spend even more. You even go back and withdraw from the ATM. You go back and withdraw. Why? Because we are not disciplined. We have to be disciplined. Yeah, you may look at something and appreciate it, but it wasn't in your budget.
Very true.
So don't spend it. Don't spend it. No, ladies have this thing. We always have this thing. You're walking through town and you see this beautiful dress. and you can't get your eyes off it. Eventually you'll have to buy it, but then
You gotta buy it.
imagine you're disciplined and you know at the end of the day you have to walk out with we have to go home with food for the family. That means you have to sacrifice. But these things that come with sacrifice.
Very true.
Finances come with discipline. With finances come with sacrifice. You deal with things. If you've been going for get away with your friends, your family, you know, you do it less. Maybe you go once in like 2 months or once in 6 months, or you can do it annually, you know, once in a year. So definitely, you know, you have to plan for your future when it comes to finances. Most of us don't save.
But
you save and then the savings save you at the end of your savings save you, so
they save you.
There is no purpose of saving. That's what most people say. But if you're disciplined, why not? So get yourself a mentor, you know, in areas where you feel you have difficulty. You may not even have difficulty, but you have someone to look up to, someone that guides you.
Yeah.
You know? It goes. It's more than mentorship.
Yeah,
it's someone that you look up to. Of course, you get a mentor according to someone you look up to. Most of our mentors are people we look up to.
Somebody you look up to. All right, very true. And well, at this point in time, we come to the end of our inspiration moment, and now let's switch our eyes to what's trending, and of course, the most corrupt countries in Africa, in the world.
Well, I mean, we must be among the corrupt.
Let's get into these trends real quick. There are quite lots of comments, definitely, and you know, asking where does Uganda fall?
We were actually among the top, you know, corrupt countries in Africa. So definitely, I won't be surprised if I find we're like number 2, number 3, or number 5. I mean, we this is one of the ways actually, if we want to get. We know the fact that World Bank withheld, you know, giving us funds. So definitely that could be the easiest means if we fight corruption. The number of monies that disappear out of the blue. Hey, if that money would be used, we would be by far, very far, very, very, very far. Just imagine the projects that come in dollars, and of course half of it is spent where we do not know. And the other half is dispersed. So definitely. Anyway, let's get into this social media trends, and we get to look at the top corrupt countries in Africa. Well, of course, topping number 1. Wow, Somalia. What is something I didn't expect actually. Somalia, wow, South Sudan, really? I'm not saying Uganda. I'm not saying, quite a surprise.
It's not there.
It's not there, but very good, very good. We are, you know, we are catching up. We are catching up. So number 1 list is Somalia, our neighbor, South Sudan, close neighbor, Libya. Then we have Equatorial Guinea, we have Burundi, we have Comoros, we have Chad, then we have DR Congo, we have Guinea-Bissau, we have Congo-Brazzaville, we have Sudan, we have Eritrea, Zimbabwe, and of course, finally, we have actually Nigeria. That is of the 2022, according to 2022, that is how, you know, the corrupt nations are, from the first to the very, you know, the 14th right there. Uganda, perfect. We are perfect. At least East Africa, we are. Little bit. We are a little bit. We are represented by just
South Sudan is part of East Africa.
Yes, these are the newcomers. These are the newcomers.
Burundi is part of East Africa.
Oh, okay. The first East Africa
is part of East Africa.
Well, and this is Stars Habibs, and he says, "Where is Uganda? Uganda is making is the marking guide, guys. No, there is no Uganda. So definitely, we are progressing, which I feel proud of."
See, remember back in time when, I mean, when we had, you see, when you're marking examinations as a teacher, you had a marking guide, just like it's saying. It's the one that guides you to know what marks your award. So really, Uganda is the lens through which you can know that this country is corrupt. That's what it's trying to mean. That's what it's trying to mean. You just get the lens of Uganda, if the aspects, you know, like how those movies we watch, so you put on specs, and before you know it, you can see things other people don't see. So you get those specs for corruption. Uganda, which is Uganda, you put it on.
He actually made a funny comment. He said Uganda even corrupted the list.
it's that worse.
Who made the list actually?
Of course, it's made. There was, if we could get back to the very first list, I think down there, They had some.
There was a source.
There was a source down there. Was it on this one?
Yes, I think no, it was from the very first.
I think it was on the very first list. Anyway.
But of course, you know, I must say, even when it comes even to consuming beverages, I think we would actually not be on the list.
Consuming beverages.
Yes, alcohol.
Alcohol.
Because we are consumers. We enjoy.
Yeah, we do.
Distilled.
Yeah, people take alcohol in Uganda, but it's, I think, in top 5. I mean, it's quite.
We think we can. Oh, top 5 we could.
Somebody said that's one of the World Cups Uganda can never win without struggle.
I mean, we are funding for the Uganda Cranes. I mean, 50 shillings a bottle of beer. Yeah, so why not? Why not support by drinking? And of course, no Uganda on this list. Congratulations to His Excellency Mecha Museveni and to all the Ugandans. We are not there.
We are not there. And Kongs, and I understand people that are congratulating the president on that.
People thought we would be actually. People were actually ready. And I'm very sure once if we were on that list, wow, very many comments would come flashing in. Of course, this is Kemigisha Zoe, and she says, source 2020-22 Corruption Predictions Index. The fight against corruption headed by President Museveni is yielding fruit. The naysayers are now asking, where is Uganda? But they do not have the nerve to realize that the ongoing efforts to address our challenges internally. The naysayer asking, where is Uganda? Where is it? Yeah, that means we are progressing. We are progressing. And of course, this is looks, and it says with Uganda's corruption, they still manage to pay these guys as they to appear on the list. You know, we are not even certain about ourselves. We are not even certain. To some people, it came by a surprise. Like, we are not. Yeah, and of course, this is Shan L. Nagawa, and of course, at Shan Love N, she says at now at His Excellency Bobby Wine, Kizza, all the opposition leaders right there, and their colleagues will pretend that they haven't seen this report. Uganda is not on the list, but dear. Oh wow! So
okay,
that shows progress. That really shows progress. I mean, the systems that are coming up.
But you see, that can only be experienced by the lifestyle.
Look at the percentage. Look, I'm seeing Seychelles actually at 95.9%.
Quite huge.
Wow, that's top notch. That is almost 100.
100.
That means they're way above. They're really every corner you go to.
That's
money is being disappeared.
Okay.
Guinea, Equatorial Guinea at 95 still. South Africa at 95. Wow. This is a different list. Literacy rates.
These are literacy rates.
Yeah.
People are the literate now to read and write.
Yeah, this is nice. I thought it was still on corruption, but
no.
Wow.
We just ended the corruption, but now taking a look at literacy. I was expecting to see Kenya in here.
Yeah.
I was expecting to see Kenya.
It could be below. Who knows? I mean.
Okay, Seychelles, Equatorial Guinea, South Africa, Mauritius. Yeah, why would South Africa be below Equatorial Guinea? There is Sao Tome and Principe. What's that? And then Namibia, 91.53. Yeah, I would agree with that.
Yes.
These are nations that don't really be so much into the mainstream, but when it comes to, they are what we call underground economies.
Yes.
Rising underground economies. All right, that is it for our social media trends in regards to corruption and literacy. Now, another very important conversation in here for the small businesses out there, people into the informal sector. There is what we call the asset financing. Understanding what asset financing is, it is a service that is offered by banks. Probably if you didn't know about that, imagine I have to buy property of worth 100 million. But of course, with this, a bank is going to come out and tell me, well, I can contribute to you 90% of that, but pay the 10%. So you'll pay back the 90%, of course, with the interest according to how you agree that is with the bank. So there is no more struggle as a result of that, and that will make business much more easy. But the only challenge is that sometimes we don't know how this really works. Well, Sandra Kagwa, Manager Asset Finance, DFCU Bank, has something to say about what is really asset financing, most especially to the downtown person that is running business or any person that is struggling out there. Let's get into this discussion real quick. We shall be returning to wrap this up.
To our people in the informal sector, really, asset finance is where we are purchasing for you, say, a vehicle. Instead of you getting out money from your pocket, 100 million, to go out there and purchase a double cabin pickup, you come to the bank, we give you up to 90 million, so you only contribute 10%. Then the 90 million you can bring back in installments according to your affordability, up to a maximum of 5 years. So the range is between 12 to 12, which is a year, to 5 years, which is 60 months. And that our lending is based on your cash flows. So if they're irregular, we shall also structure in that way. So the money you would have used to buy a vehicle can be used in other useful business activities. You use that money to buy stock, pay your workers, pay rent. So asset finance is a solution that tries to give people an opportunity to use the available cash for other activities. And also the other good thing about asset finance, the asset for which we are financing, if you financed a vehicle, then it's the main security. We usually do not ask additional security. So the vehicle that we financed will be the security for that product. So it makes it easy. Instead of bringing your land title to take a loan, here you're looking at what the bank has financed as the security for the financing, which I believe is good enough to our clients. Anyone, any kind of individual, say sole proprietor, salary earner, a registered company, a limited liability company, anyone, as long as they have an existing source of income, a cash flow, then they qualify for this kind of asset. Yes. When we talk about a loan vis-a-vis asset finance, a loan, you come to the bank, pick money, but it has to be secured, especially for the business community. However, if you come for an asset finance, the asset for which we are financing is the security. You just make a contribution towards that part. The differentiator I would put up, when you're taking, and there's a likelihood that you may not attain the money that you would want to inject in your business, because the bank also, other than giving the ability to pay, they will look at the value of what you're mortgaging for that loan. Then in asset finance, the other benefit that would come over, especially for people who are taking leases, the finance leases, there's a component of tax. So you do not have to outrightly pay the VAT to government, but instead pay it along your rentals monthly. So the bank pays that VAT upfront to the supplier, but they only charge you the net cost of that asset. So it helps you with your budgeting. You don't have, yet if you took out a loan and purchased, say, a generator for your business, if you're a manufacturer, then it means you bear all the costs upfront and you don't have an opportunity to go back and claim, even if you're VAT registered. So it has tax advantages. Then maybe the other advantage comes out on the income tax. A business customer on the time of leases accounts all the expenses related to the leasing. Then they are factored in at the end of the year when you're filing your returns. So you find you pay less income tax at the end of the day because the expenses are also considered as part of the business expenses. So it gives someone an advantage out there to manage your cash flows.
Well, asset financing in there, and quite very insightful. One of the ways that asset you're acquiring is the security.
Yes.
There. I think it's a great idea.
It's really a great idea compared. You know, she was making comparisons between the loan and the asset financing.
Yeah.
I feel like you know, people who are really into purchasing things, and you know, you could actually opt for this asset financing.
Financing.
Because I mean, at the end of the day, you get to pay according to how much you earn, okay, compared to the loan. The loan has very many terms. The loan has it squeezes a lot, people a lot. So definitely, if you're out, you need money to purchase a car, they could actually finance your car. Then you could pay the 10% they talked about. Then you pay in a maximum of 5 years, like they said.
Exactly.
Yeah, so definitely, I think it's a good idea. It's a good idea for those that find it difficult to go for loans. It's also a loan in itself, but of course, the only thing is the security is the very thing.
It's the very thing that you go, as long as it's a movable, actually it should be a movable asset. Don't go there saying that I want land and I pay this amount. It must be a movable asset. Well, it's exactly 28 minutes past 8, 2 minutes to 8:30, and as I speak right now, the markets on the Zabo platform are on. *292# is the code for you to participate, and here you'll be given an opportunity to buy government bond securities for a fee of just 15,000 Ugandan shillings. Now the markets opened at exactly 8:15, and they'll be running all the way to 3:15 p.m. That is East African time. And that is effective Monday up to Friday, apart from the weekends and the public holidays when these markets cannot be accessed. But of course, despite that, you have the rest of the days to capitalize and make money, something which I believe is quite very key and instrumental for your financial development and growth as an individual. Zabo made this a reality for you. And also remember, on top of *292#, you have to register with your national identification number for you to proceed efficiently. That's why Zabo says my money, my future, and Autox East Africa tells you, well, you gotta do something new for yourself in the year 2023. Let's take a short break, and when we return, business and sports entertainment coming up.